communities can certainly have tighter requirements than those. So you need to check your local statutes. One place where I've seen this implemented was I was a police officer up in Portland, Oregon. We had a call at a McDonald's where a gentleman was upset with his order. He had done time in prison previously, prior convict, and he took 3 pens and he taped them together in his car because he was mad about his burger when he went through the drive-thru. And they didn't give him the answer he wanted when he complained about his burger. So he went into the establishment with 3 pens taped together. He had those. We later saw footage when we investigated it, and he had those down by his side here. And he began to argue with the manager, who was a larger guy. They got into a physical fist fight, or the manager thought he was in a fist fight, and this guy began to stab him with the pens. Now the pens broke off individually. A couple of them broke off on the guy's face. He was trying to stab him, it appeared, in the eyes, because he consistently kept stabbing in that upper face region. The guy got stabbed here, he got stabbed here, he got stabbed in the nose, he got stabbed over here. He got stabbed all the way around his eyes, but none of them got right into the eye. One was about in the eyebrow. Significant strikes, though, where he broke off. He ended up breaking off 2 of the pens, or sticking in the guy initially. He took them out before we got there, but you could actually see him on video pull those out. Bad guy then went to his car, shot at the place, drove off. We ended up catching him, getting the gun, all that. But this guy had prior convict, prison time, and very, very interesting case where he had improvised using pens as a weapon system for his fight. There are some pens that are specifically made. They're called tactical pens. There's many different manufacturers for these, and you can get them in many different configurations. So these tactical pens, some of them will actually have also an end. This tactical pen here has an end on it that can be used to break windows. It's actually marketed as a window break. You take the cap off. This end is a writing implement, and it actually does write. You can refill it with ink. It's also got a clip on it. You can clip it into a shirt. If you're wearing some kind of collared shirt, you could clip it in there. Becomes accessible if the guy tackles me to the ground. We had another DVD where we did some ground engagements. Guy gets a dominant position on me on the ground. He's holding me down. He's hitting me. I feel like I'm going to pass out. I could grab this implement and then use it as a stabbing implement. Keep in mind, though, that the window breaking end of this is actually designed as a stabbing implement, and I need to be justified to use deadly force if I'm going to deploy one of these pens in a fight. Unlike our carabiner example earlier, where I pick certain targets to hit, and those targets would be a lower level of force than striking in the head or the face or the throat or the groin even. Unlike this, any kind of puncture wound produced by this weapon system, that's what it's made to do. Those kind of things are going to need to be articulated the same as though I'd stabbed him with a knife. So keep that in mind. One of the benefits of tools like this that are actual pens, here's another one. This one I like a lot. It's made by Scholar, S-C-H-O-L-A-R. One of my buddies down in Vegas, a retired guy from my department, let me borrow this to bring it up and show it to you guys. This one is an actual pen. The end writes, but because of the fashion of the pen and the how it's designed, it would stand up if I were to use it as a stabbing implement, and it would be unlikely to break off in the individual that I was stabbing. On the other end is a button, and I can actually use this as a flashlight. And I can use this as a flashlight, a move, or using it as a stabbing implement, depending on the seriousness of the situation. Now on this one, the end disappears back into the stabbing implement, and this is not sharp in any way. I can jab myself with this, and I'm not going to incur any kind of a puncture wound. There is no sharp end unless I articulate it and I present it. So this is a pretty useful little tool. It could be a flashlight. It could also reinforce the fist, and I actually could use this to hammer fist in non-lethal areas such as the arm, such as his leg, his hip. I could use this. I still would avoid trying to use this up around the face or the eyes unless I was in that deadly force type incident and I was defending myself at that level. You'll find that the more you train, a lot of people will think, man, what can I do, Chad? How far could I push it? Where could I stab a guy with something like this that doesn't have a sharp tip on it? You'll find that the more you train, the more you look for control, for positions of advantage, and you don't go down that road of how far could I go? How far could I push this? Instead of that, I want you to look for opportunities. When can I disengage? When can I de-escalate this situation? You don't want the mindset that how far could I escalate this? How much damage could I do? The answer to that is only the appropriate amount for whatever's happening around you. I can also keep a tool like this in a pocket. I can conceal it. It is an actual writing implement. Because this one is not sharpened in any way, I could probably carry this onto like an airplane, for example. TSA would have to make their judgment on this. I would put this in my carry-on bag. I would just have it in my bag as an actual writing implement. It is an actual writing implement, and it's different than some of the other ones I have. If you look at this gold one, for example, this gold one's made by Benchmade. They primarily make knives. The tip does not write. The tip isn't sharp like just by pressing on it, but because of its design, this would go into me. This would penetrate my skin if I swung it. And for this one, you have to